I'd like to end, as I mentioned I would, on one final reading, which is just a short reading that talks about kind of answering that first question we had about where we're headed as a society. And this need for a real change in our fundamental value system if we're going to move towards a true future of sustainable flourishing. So this is a section that is in the final chapter of the book that's called Trajectories to Our Future. And this particular section actually is called The Great Transformation. So I'll read from it. Okay, The Great Transformation. Many have come to recognize the need for this fundamental change in values. It's been variously called the Great Transformation, the Great Transition, the Great Turning, and humanity's great work. Like the two earlier great transitions of human history, that is agriculture and the scientific revolution, of those two, it would encompass a transformation of virtually every aspect of the human experience, our values, our goals, and our collective behavior. There is a major difference, however, between this great transformation and the earlier ones. Both agriculture and the scientific and industrial revolutions were the result of generations of people merely acting in ways that made sense to them at the time without necessarily holding a vision of where their collective actions were leading humanity. It was only long afterward that people could look back and recognize the transformation. This third great transition, by contrast, will only take place if enough people are conscious of its need and prepared to change their own values and behavior to affect humanity's direction. It would be a unique achievement in humanity's history. A great transformation would need to be founded on a worldview that could enable humanity to thrive sustainably on the earth into the future. In place of root metaphors, such as nature as machine and conquering nature, the new worldview would be based on the emerging systems view of life, recognizing the intrinsic interconnectedness between all forms of life on earth and seeing humanity as embedded integrally within the natural world. What values would arise from this worldview? Three core values emerge. The first is an emphasis on quality of life rather than material possessions. In place of the global obsession with defining progress in terms of economic output and material wealth, we would begin to prioritize progress in the quality of our lives, both individually and in society at large. Secondly, we would base political, social, and economic choices on a sense of our shared humanity, emphasizing fairness and dignity for all, rather than maximizing for ourselves and our parochially defined social group. Finally, we would build our civilization's future on the basis of environmental sustainability, with the flourishing of the natural world as a foundational principle for humanity's major decisions.